welcome to the Sales to CEO podcast. This is your host, Louie Herron. It is my personal mission to coach, motivate, and inspire you to go from salesperson to dealer principal or any position you desire. Stop making excuses and let's start making adjustments to the future you want and deserve. Today, we're talking about 5 steps on how to make $200,000 selling cars. What's up, guys? It's your host, Louie Herron. Man, I'm so excited to be here with you today. I hope you're excited to learn more about selling some cars and specifically trying to find a way to make $200,000. Think about that for a moment. Would that not be life-changing? Now, listen, I say $200,000. It could be $300,000. It could be $150,000. It could be $400,000. There are a lot of car people in the country making $200,000 plus per year. They're very specific on how they get it done, and we're going to be specific today. Now, let's talk about the math real quick of $200,000. $200,000, break that down, it's going to be roughly $16,000 a month. So if you're averaging somewhere around $550 per commission, $500 a commission, you're going to have to sell about 30 cars. It's a car a day. So what I always say, and I mean it from the core, from the bottom of my heart, there's got to be a deal a day out there somewhere. You can't convince me. You can't tell me that there is not one car deal a day we could put together. Now, we all know it's not going to come from just the walk-ups, right? It's not going to. We can't rely on the ups. We're going to get into what we need to do to make this happen. Now, I also say, listen, guys, when you're listening, if you enjoy the content, do me a favor. Let's share this with some automotive folks that are out there. Let's subscribe and get this content. Put the little bell on so you know when I drop a new podcast, so you know what's out there, guys. I'm bringing you stuff that's real world applicable stuff that's going to help you excel and accelerate your career to go from sales to sales manager, sales to general sales manager, GM to partner, whatever level you're trying to get to, that's where I want to help you go. It's my personal mission, guys, to help every automotive sales professional, every automotive individual that wants to go to the next level. That's what I want to try to do to the best of my ability. Now, remember, most of you guys do know who I am. If you don't, I apologize. 25 years in the automotive business, worked my way up from a 20-year-old salesperson all the way up to dealer principal, owned a couple of Toyota dealerships, owned a Chrysler dealership, owned an independent used car lot, all of that for about 13 years. So I've got some acumen. I've operated and ran dealerships 18 out of the 25 years I've been in the business, guys. So I believe I've got some concepts, some ideas that's going to help you go to the next level. We're talking about selling a car a day. We're talking about selling 30 cars in a month, making $200,000 selling cars. What's the first thing we want to do? We've got 5 steps. 5 steps. They're not in any particular order, but I'm going to go through all 5, and I want you to get a good understanding of how to get it done. Now, again, in my course, Sales to Sales Manager, Sales to CEO, I break this stuff down a lot deeper, so just bear with me because I'm only going to be able to touch in our 15, 20-minute podcast of the surface level of all of these, but I will give you some detail to help you grow. Let's hit the first one. Social media branding marketing. Guys, I can't convince you enough. You're going to have to get good at this. Number one, you're going to have to get good at just first hitting the live button. You're going to have to get good at first posting frequently. You've got to learn the skill sets and the skill traits of what it takes because it's free. And right now, it's at a perfect opportunity because most guys that are selling cars are not utilizing this to the fullest. So it is wide open, but you've got to have a strategy. Let's talk about that strategy briefly and understand what you need to do. The first thing is you need to make sure that everybody that catches a video or sees you post something, that they know who you are and your personality. Remember, they need to know who you are. They're buying you. Remember, most of the people that are on social media, to a large degree, until you start doing paid ads, which we talk about at length in the Sales to CEO course, these people know you. So your personality, why do they want to do business with you, right? What about you makes you unique? What is the strategy and methodology? I believe 31 days straight, 12 months out of the year, you need to be posting at least one time a day. And I know you think, man, there are folks that are posting twice a day, 3 times a day, right? But you've got to have a strategy. Again, I refer to my course. I've got a 31-day planner that breaks down everything you would need to do in 31 days. It tells you exactly what to do on the 1st, what to do on the 13th, what to do on the 25th, what to say, and a description of what it is. So in other words, you really don't have to do anything but just press live and make it happen. I also recommend at a high level that you generate leads through Facebook. And a lot of people use Facebook in social media to get impressions, video views, the reach and the frequency. And I think that's important. But ultimately, guys, you're going to have an actual name and a number. One of the things you've got to note is a lead from Facebook cannot get into your CRM without some bridge. Okay, you've got to have something that goes from Facebook to the CRM in order to capture that lead and keep it in your organizer and keep it flowing. All right, so again, there are tools that are out there. One of them is called Leads Bridge. That's the one that I used. There are several out there, but you got to make sure when we do our marketing and our branding and our advertising, and we're letting people know who we are and our personality, and we have a strategy and a methodology of what we're going to do. We want to do it to lead gen, and then we want to send that lead to the CRM. That's what we want to do. Now, I also recommend come up with some kind of slogan. Now, what does that mean? Something that you say every time, you open with it every time, so you start to brand who you are. Maybe you say something like, every video starts off with you opening up a car door, and it's, hey guys, it's Louie down from ABC Nissan, and I'm opening the door of opportunity. Today I want to tell you about bam, and you get into it, right? But you have the video opening the door, and then you flip it on you in a selfie mode, start beginning your pitch, or what message you're going to convey. You've got to come up with something that gives them something that they recognize you by on a consistent basis. So when you do this for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, they're going to feel like they know you and they see you all the time. Okay, so what can we do? There are several things that you should be doing. Number one, not only posting what's in my 31-day calendar, or you come up with your own calendar of deals and service and parts and sales meeting and interviewing different personnel in the dealership, testimonials. Okay, you do those things, but also there's surveys you do. Get them engaged, get them involved. Have games and prizes and giveaways, right? Let them engage and get involved. Do some things. A great idea would be something like, guys, it's the trade of the day. If anybody that can guess how many miles are on this trade, it's a 2013 Chevy Trailblazer. If anyone can guess the miles, I'll give you a free oil change. Comment below right now. Something small like that. Anything like that gets them involved. You could do 3 cars in 3 minutes. I used to love doing that, right? I would line up 6 cars. I'd have a price. I'd have someone driving the car, and I'd run the car up, and I'd have them film me like it was an infomercial. 3 cars in 3 minutes, right? 5 cars in 5 minutes. I mean, these are just simple little ideas that work when you start doing them consistently. Every Monday and every Friday, they know they're going to get 3 cars in 3 minutes, right? So they start understanding what to expect. Now, we're talking about selling 200 cars. We're talking about trying to get you to a point where you're selling 30 cars in a month, 1 car a day. Social media should represent 10 car deals a month from you guys, period. 10 car deals a month. All right, let's go to number 2. Now, number 2 on how to sell, of the 5 steps, how to sell how to make $200,000 selling cars, a proven new school selling process. Okay, now when I say new school, does that mean we're going to radically change our process? No. We still do a meet and greet, needs assessment. We still touch the desk, get an EMI. We still make sure we did the proper selection when we touch the desk. We always offer model up, model down, demo presentation, trial close, write the deal up, right? And we go through our process. That doesn't change. What I am saying is new school selling process. What I mean is your words. Word tracks that are heavily dosed in psychology. The words you choose are vital. Words create pictures, pictures create emotion, and energy and action follows thought. The energy and action we want them to do is sign the deal. Sign the deal. They got to first think about doing it, feeling good about doing it, and the pictures you paint by the words you use are critical. Okay, so you also need to make sure in your new school selling process, you got to learn the difference between presentation and process. I want you to think about F&I for a minute. If you're not familiar, maybe this F&I manager is listening right now, they'll tell you, but if you're not familiar, when customers go in the F&I office, there is a menu presentation. We present that menu 100% of the time. 100% of the time. We do it the same way over and over. If you talk to an F&I manager, they have the same pitch every single time. The pitch is perfected. I think when you're selling cars, it is no different. I don't think that you do the same meet and greet every time. The needs assessment the same way. Your presentation, demonstration the same way. How you start the write-up. No, you tailor it towards your customer, and I get it. I'm not against that. What I am saying is you're in control, and you need to have a presentation on how you do everything. Execute presentation. Memorize, understand. When you have a memorized presentation, you actually have more flexibility than if you're winging it. Okay, it's very, very important. So when we're talking about how we're going to get to 200 grand, number one, we're going to kill social media branding, marketing, and advertising. We're going to master it. We're going to be ninja-like in learning that program. Secondly, we're going to do a proven new school selling process, which talks about psychology. The words we choose are vital. We're going to work on our words, work on our word tracks, and work on a presentation. We're going to do it every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. Okay, number three, relentless follow-up. Now, when I say relentless follow-up, we're talking about how to make 200 grand. Guys, frequency alone will not work. You can't just say, I'm going to bang out 50 calls a day. I got it. I'm with you. Yes, that's the starting point. But in this relentless follow-up, you're going to have to use video, text messages. Your phone calls need to be scripted. Go back to what I said earlier. A presentation, you need to know what to say, anticipate objections, and know how to rebuttal those objections, and get people back into the dealership. Learn properly how to leave a voicemail that has a voicemail with a call to action. It has a high level of urgency. You've got to use email campaigns. This is all part of the relentless follow-up, and that's what I need you to focus on. If you're going to make 200 grand, you've got to make sure you're a master of social media. Your sales process is now a presentation that's memorized, and you got to have relentless follow-up. The fourth thing, you got to start building a database. Guys, this is the drip. This is the drip. You want to talk about selling 30 cars? This is how you get that car a day, because you've been dripping people for 30, 60, 90, 120, 180, 5 months, 9 months. You're just constantly slow drip with follow-up. There's technology in the marketplace that allows you to see people that was on your website 6 months ago that you thought was dead, that last night was on your website for an hour and 20 minutes and looked at 6 used cars. That guy's now hot, yet you thought he was dead. If there's no drip, there's no communication, he's not going to remember you. We're talking about getting to $200,000 a year plus selling cars. These strategies are what's going to take you over the top, right? Social media, psychology and presentation in your sales skills, being a master at your craft, relentless follow-up, using more than just the phone with text and video, creating urgency and a call to action, building a database to just have these nice drip campaigns over and over and over, building that database to send out email newsletters, coupons, discounts, the deal of the month, all ways to keep people engaged in your campaigns. Okay, look, as we wind this thing down, we're coming to a close. We got the fifth thing. The fifth thing to how you can get to 200 grand above and beyond new school selling process, above and beyond social media marketing, relentless follow-up, and building a database with a strong drip campaign that keeps people engaged over long periods of time. Guys, you got to work service drive. And here's what I'll tell you. I know when you think about this, I had a guy that sold for me. I kid you not. The guy would bring me 3 deals every single day. 2 things would happen. Number one, the credit was always stellar. Don't ask me how, don't ask me why, but the credit was always good. Number 2, the grosses were always better than deals that came from the lot, phone, or web. Customers weren't shopping. They weren't in the market. We put them in the market by our exchange program, our acquisition program, which I get into heavily with the Sales CEO program. But you got to have a process. Remember, there are massive ups in the service department. You are waiting every day out front. Meanwhile, in the back, you've got 30, 40, 50, 70, 100, depending on the size of your store, of customers coming in every single day that have 30, 60, 80,000 miles that would love to entertain the fact of upgrading into a new vehicle, keeping the payments the same, whatever pitch you have to make that happen. Again, strong ways to work that service drive. You got to prepare before the day starts. Right? Tomorrow, you already know what the appointments are. You already know all 63 appointments. You should already be purging through those with an ASN that should be a buddy of yours, and you should be going through every single one of those, figuring out, okay, Miss Johnson, she's got a 14 Nissan Altima. She's got 48,000 miles on it. Last time she was in the shop, she spent, $1,100. She's in for an oil change. Boom. You should know exactly what you're working with before the day begins. Also, you have a couple different avenues. Number one, face-to-face. I believe in my heart that not only should you have a different pitch and script and presentation for the service department customers, I believe you need to have a different pencil for those customers. Okay, so you got to be unique and different when you're presenting an opportunity to get these folks out of their current car into something newer. Not only face to face, you also got to have a phone strategy, a phone and video strategy for follow up of customers you didn't get to. There may be 63 opportunities in the back, and you were able to talk to 7, 8 people And then out of the 7 or 8 people, you work deals on 3. So you got 53 that were never contacted. You got to have a strategy. Again, I've got a great strategy that works like clockwork. I got a script that's stronger than death. It will work 75, 80% of the time, but you got to have a plan, guys. Again, you need to figure out how to work that service drive. I believe to goal to get to 30 cars, 10 deals a month should come from social media, 10 deals a month should come from the service department. That leaves you 10 deals you've got to find somehow, some way on the lot, on the phone, on the web, and that does not include your outbound regular prospecting. Guys, 30 deals a month is a very doable deal. You got to raise your think. Start thinking bigger. Start thinking bigger. Guys, look, this is Louie Herron, your host from Sales to CEO, taking you from where you're at to where you want to go, taking you to the next level. I want to get you to sales manager. I want to get you to the next level, whatever that looks like for you. In the meantime, if you're selling cars, let's figure a way to make the most amount of money we possibly can. Let's have the law of separation, be unique in the marketplace, not only in our store, in the market, and not worry about who you know. Let's worry about who the heck knows you and comes calling your name when it's ready. Guys, look, this is Louie Herron, Sales to CEO. Until the next podcast, hope you guys continue having a great selling. Let's rock and roll. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to the Sales to CEO podcast. Look, real simple, do me a big favor. Number one, I'm totally grateful you took the time to listen, but share this, like, subscribe. This is how we build our network of growing people in the car industry to the next level. Again, like or share or subscribe right now. Until the next one, great selling, and let's go to the next level.